obligation. But we have to go home sometimes, right? Even 1 month holidays is enough. 1 month a year. But you make more holidays than 1 month. Huh? Come every time, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, so it's not necessary to make an extension for your holidays anymore. We have to go back to our obligation. Our life, our time here is very short. We have to make best use of it. Don't ask people to serve us. We have to ask, how can we serve people? Yes, all the time. And you never go wrong. What do we need that people have to serve us? We don't need anything. Huh? We have enough clothes, enough food, and that's all. And the rest of the time we have to develop ourselves spiritually. And then we have to use our spare times to serve the world, both inside and outside. Inside we use our wisdom, our good vibration, our virtues to bless the people and the environment. Outside, we use our time, our physical fitness, our cleverness, our talents to help wherever and whenever we can. If we do this wholeheartedly, we always feel fulfilled, satisfied, and we will never ask for anything. And we feel always enough. If we keep demanding people to serve us, we will be always in misery, always disappointed, always have trouble. We provide for the people, and God will provide for us. That is the way of working in the universe. If everyone works like that, the system of the world will run very smoothly, and no one is ever lack of anything. But because we do not work this way, therefore the world is in such a state of wanting. Sooner or later, we will have to be the torch bearers. In spiritual field as well as in worldly achievements. We will have to be the forerunner, the leaders of the world, not in political movement, not in revolutionary reaction, but in shining examples of sacrifice, of love. That's how we rescue the world. That's how we lead the world into new age, into new spirit of serving and loving each other. Love thy neighbor must not be only an empty sentence, but it should be a very ordinary, day-to-day, basic, ordinary way of life. We have to love the neighbor until we do not know that we have even love, that we do things in love, just like we wash our hands, just like we feed ourselves. It is very normal, very ordinary, that no one even need to praise us. And if people praise us, we would feel kind of strange. Why? Why should I be praised for washing my own hands or feeding my own mouth, for example? Yes, that is the true way of love your neighbor. Until then, we just practice. We are just in apprenticeship of loving the neighbor, but we not truly have that love. We do not truly understand. Soon, many of you, most of you, or all of you have to be the leaders of your environment, leading mankind into a new way of thinking, new way of living. We have to show a shining example of sacrifice and true love. So, regardless of all your small obstacles in your meditation practice or in your daily dealing with the world, regardless of your mood, of your frustration, of your personal emotion and anger, fear, sorrow, we have to move on with the greater ideal, with a better, a nobler goal. We have to keep this noble goal in mind and forget about the small thorns and the small pebbles and stones along the road. We have to wear big shoes, big boots, and walk on all the thorns. These big boots of protection is our determination to be noble, to serve in face of difficulties and frustration, in face of test of courage and faith. We must be greater than we imagine we could be. We must be better than what we expect our neighbor to be. We must sacrifice more than we can demand from our neighbors or our close people, our associates. Only in this way we can show others how to be noble, how to sacrifice, how to love. We have to sacrifice in such a natural way, in such a repeated circle, until we do it without knowing that we sacrifice, until we sacrifice without thinking that we sacrifice, until the word sacrifice doesn't mean anything to us at all, because we do things in such a natural, automatic way. Only in such a vision of the world can we become one of the leading planet in this universe. Only in such a vision that we do not need to go to nirvana. We should keep this vision in mind and make our world a paradise with positive energy and agreement between thousands, hundreds of thousands of us. We can make it. And it's not, I'm talking to you today in a dream or in such a leisurely vision, but we will do it. We will do it as much as our capacity allows, as much as our time on earth allow. As long as we live, we must dedicate our whole to the goodness, to the progress of mankind, of the whole world, of the whole universe. Our vision must be so large, larger than life, must be so noble that we have nothing else to lose. We fear nothing in such greatness of a vision. Every obstacle becomes so small. Every personal inconvenience becomes so meaningless in such a vision. I do not feel that we are talking like a dream or just making a vision, but I feel that it will come true someday. It might have already begun to take root, but it will have to branch forth into all directions and make new buds, new flowers, new branches. It has to grow larger, greater, faster, and envelop the whole world with the spirit of love and service, unconditional service. What else do we need from this world except a few pair of clothes and enough food to sustain our physical need? Why do we need to worry about wealth, property, position, power, and recognition of the world? If we know we cannot take more than 2-3 meals a day, if we know we need only a few pair of clothes to warm our body, we have no fear if we understand our need is very little. And should we shed this physical clothing, it's all right. It's all right. We will be given another if we need it. If we don't need it, then it's fine too. If we don't come back, it's fine. As long as we live in this world, we must make our life meaningful. What else do we live for? We will die sooner or later. And if we look back from the other world to the past many decades of our life, and we see nothing meaningful, nothing glorious about our action, speech, and thought, then we will feel very burdened. That is how people have to come back to this world again. There is no one to sit in judgment except our own conscience. That is the only one from whom we could never run away. God might forgive us. The whole world might not know about our actions, but we know. We are the only one that we could not cheat, and we could not tell lies to. We could not run away from. So whatever we do, make sure that is beneficial to us. When we benefit other people, we benefit ourselves. We see clearly with our eyes what we do and how people benefit from it, how the world progresses through our efforts. We know clearly. Our goal must be noble. must be high, must be mighty. Otherwise, what is the use of living the life kind of animal, feeding ourselves, working, raising children? Nothing more. No higher ideal, no lofty motive. Understand? Why should we be just a very lowly, ordinary person when we possess such a mighty power, such a lofty idea, and we inherit so much noble doctrines from different masters who had graced our planet with their presence, with their wisdom, with their everlasting blessing. Why should we be just an ordinary, animated being instead of being a broader, a larger, a greater soul to benefit many other people and benefit our own conscience when we see, when we feel, when we know what we have done in life. As long as we breathe this air, we have done everything to benefit others. That is the way to benefit ourselves. That is the way to ennoble our soul and to grow, to become a Buddha. How else do you become a Buddha? How else can you expect a Buddha to be? A useless one. Even if we become a Buddha, we are so useless, we do nothing good, then what is the use? What is the use of the Buddha title? So we don't need for a Buddha title, but we need to know ourselves with our own conscience that we are worth it. It doesn't matter if the whole world calls us a Buddha, but we know ourselves that we are not worthy, that we don't try our best to help anyone. Our conscience knows it. And that's the only way. That's the only thing that we cannot hide, we cannot run away from. In order to do great things, we have to perfect the small things. Do not feel that great persons only take care of great things and do not mind about the details. In my own opinion, in my own observation, I know that great people are very, very, very attentive to minute details. That's how they become great. I'm sorry if anyone else had a different illusion, another illusion, but it is not that way. I have met so-called many great people, truly great people, not those who thirst for name and fame and who snatch power by tricks and by political, craftiness. I don't mean these people. They are not great. They will be great in hell, but not in truth. Not in reality. So I have met many so-called great people, truly great people, and I have seen how they take care of minute details with great attentiveness, but with such a natural spontaneity that is kind of their second nature. And I think that's how they become great, because they do not neglect anything. They know everything without having to pay much attention. You know, you understand what I mean? Even some ordinary people, when they want someone to pay attention to something, their so-called attention is so minimum that even they say they have paid the whole attention, it's not much. Therefore they neglect every corner, and that's how things are spoiled and not completed. I have seen many so-called great people. They're truly very humble in their way, and they truly take care of things in such a, I would say, joyful way, and very willingly to do things, to take care of other people, to take care of the task, and trust it to them at hand. So in the name of enlightenment, we should not broadcast this kind of thinking that I am the great person, I don't take care of details, I don't care for petty details. This is wrong thinking, very, very wrong. That's why it is said that the ordinary way is the way, is the great way. The ordinary mind is the Tao, is the path. If you are not ordinary enough, you cannot take care of details. If you think you're too great for this job or that job, then you are not great yet. You're too small still, too small to be mentioned. Therefore, we should not pay too much attention to our mood, to our frustration, and to our obstacles when we practice meditation or during our daily life. We have to overcome them or ignore them. Whatever we can take care or we can smooth out, do it immediately. Whatever we cannot, forget them. It doesn't mean we ignore our fault and our shortcomings. No, we have to know and change them as much as we can. But we have to ignore all the obstacles that caused by the way while we are taking care of our business, or we meditate, or we execute some work, whether for the master, whether spiritually or mundane. We just have to do it. And whenever we do something, great or small, obstacles will arise. That we have to expect. But we must have a positive thinking that I will overcome it. Whatever come in my way, I will break it. I will kick it out of my way, and I will go. Even though I might slow down for a few minutes, a few hours because of this obstacle, but that doesn't mean I will stop. I will just get rid of the obstacles, and I will go further. We have to be determined this way. Otherwise, we will be blocked all the time, here and there. With every block we stop. And we do not have any more energies. Before we have the highway, many people have to clear the road, move the mountains, move the rocks, pave the way. And it took many months, many days, or years sometimes, and much labor, much sacrifice, much patience, endurance, and determination. If an engineer who built the road saw a big rock in front of him, which he should cut through in order to make the road, and he said, oh no, the rock should not be there. I am making the rock, why the rock should be there? The lousy rock. I wake up, she's sitting there and cursing the rock all the time. Or he give up, he go home and sleep. Is that a proper way? No. Similarly, when we walk on the path of the great intelligence, of the great wisdom, we will have obstacles that we cannot avoid. And when we do anything to help people, we have obstacles that we cannot be avoided. But we do not feel negative about it, or we do not have to feel over-enthusiastic about it. We should be just practical, realistic, and take care of whatever problem comes. Not thinking in such a romantic way that, whatever I do, I will do it smoothly, no problem, we have no problem. Problems we will have. But we cannot let the problem trouble us. That's all. Yeah? Not say we will not have problem, or that I will give up if problem comes. If we think I will have no problem, then when problems come, your frustration will grow three times the original size. And if you think and that you might, and if you don't expect problem, you might even give up when problem comes. So you better know the problem might arise, but we are determined to break it down and continue our road. Should problems not arise, this is good. That doesn't mean that we think negatively, but we are prepared. Should problem arise, we still continue. In that case, we have less obstruction, less problem. Understand? And even when problems come, the problems become less of a problem because we already expect and we already feel ready to fight for it. Therefore, do not let any obstacles stop you from doing your work, from doing the work of the Master, from doing the work of your ideal, from doing the work to helping people of the world, helping the refugees, helping our fellow practitioners, helping the world. We have to overcome all of this. It is very difficult to do anything in this world because we do not have enough the perfect instrument like in other worlds. That's why when people come to this world to practice and to help with the development of spirituality, their merits multiply manifold, more than in a better environment. Many souls keep coming back to this world again in order to gain enough wisdom, gain enough merit to live in a higher world later. And the more we develop this world, the more heavens there will be. We create a new heaven. It is just like when we go to a very deserted land with no water, no trees, and we begin to dig wells and plant trees and plant vegetables, etc., and make a useless wasteland become a fertile, a green, beautiful place. Then we create a new park, new garden, new living quarter. Otherwise, there has not been there. It did not exist before we came. Understand? For example, this place also has been a wasteland. There's nothing here except grass growing. and no electricity, no big trees, only a few, and like 3 mangoes, and a few those trees next to the kitchen. These are just about the trees that we have, mostly useless trees. And after we came, there was no water here. That's the reason why the place is cheaper than elsewhere in Taiwan. No water, big wind, big rain. Everything is in excess and extreme. And then we had to dig water. We make wells. The first attempt failed. The second failed. The third, we succeeded. Similar to everything else. When we start to do something, we might not have success immediately, but we should not give up. Yeah. If we dig the first well, I say, okay, no water, we move. Or maybe we have patience up to the second well, and then no more water, still no water. Wow, what shall we do? We move. Move where? Yeah? We can move to other land, but more expensive. And then it takes a lot of more time again to locate the land, whether we like it or not, and so on and so on and so on. When we come here, we came here, the chicken farm was there. And if I say, no, chicken farm, I don't like chicken. And then we move again. We keep running around all life long looking for a location. Yeah? If there's no chicken, there might be ducks. No ducks, maybe pigs. And then no water, then if there's water, there may be no trees. And when there's trees, there may be no water, and etc., etc. No end to problems. So we stuck here. We said, okay, we were here, and it's introduced to us naturally, we take it. Whatever condition, we try to improve. So we put up the wall, we stop some of the smell and the dust, and we plant a lot of trees after we dig the wells. The third time, we dig a good well. And we use for thousands of people, you know that. Thousands of people use it once, and week long, or many days. It's okay. From a no water place, feed thousands of people with food and drink. And from lousy, all kind of shrubs, thorny bushes grow all over places. We make it become a living quarter, a living paradise, a small paradise. Or at least for the initiates, they feel this place is their paradise. Well, I feel the same. If we go outside sometimes and we compare it with other places, even park, or more beautiful environment, this is very beautiful place. It has not been like this before. But we make it into a beautiful place. And that's how we better the world. Similarly, we will do it in a greater scale, a larger scale. As we move along spiritually, we move along in helping the world and to beautify the environment and helping with the poor and the needy. We have to help the whole world, not only one nation. And that is our vision of the future. And we must do it in our capacity. So all of you have to be ready. Whenever I call, you must come. And be prepared, spiritually as well as physically. Endure everything that everyone else cannot endure. Do anything that everyone else do not want to do. Work in any field which bring benefit to mankind. Go through insult and praise alike. Feel like feather. Everything's like feather, touching you and fall away. No weight, no trace, no marks on the body. That is the way of the great men. That is the way of the great woman. And we must be these great people. If we want the world to be great, we must be great first. If we want the world people to be good, we must be good first. If we expect the world to be a paradise, we must live like paradise people on earth. There is no one else to rely on except yourself. You have to have faith in yourself, have to train yourself, have to be strict to ourselves. Should anyone else want to join us, of course, then we also take the responsibility to train them, be strict with them as much as we are strict with ourselves. Otherwise, we should not. We be strict with ourselves, and that is enough. That is already very hard work to do. Because it is not easy to be strict with ourselves. It is okay to relax now and again, to give yourself a break. But we must know where we are going and what we want to achieve. An extraordinary, strong, sufficient, self-reliant character. That's what we want to achieve. And moreover, and above all, we have to be spiritually clear and enlightened. That's how we can help the world and help ourselves to develop by all sides, spiritually, physically, and in our skills. We have to do everything. We can try everything. Have confidence, and we can do it. For example, just yesterday or a few days ago, we started to pave the stones on the wall to make it look more graceful. At first, nobody believed that anybody can do it. But I did it. I said, yes, I can. I believe I can. So I never learned it, but I do it. I did it exactly as good, if not better, than the professionals. And then all the Vietnamese, all the monks saw me do it, and they also do it. And everybody did it. Everyone who joined can do it. They never learned before. Just because I give them this inspiration, they have confidence. There's nothing we cannot do, provided we have the correct tools. Understand? Have faith in yourself. Have self-confidence. Respect yourself. And make yourself become one of the noblest, the strongest, the best, the most worthy beings ever grace this earth. Otherwise, what else do you want yourself to be? A chicken? Huh? Or a dog? Yeah, dog is good. Yeah, we say, oh, that person is very good. Why master scold him? He's just as good as a dog. You understand? Sleeping, eating, never bother anybody, never raise his voice. But what for, that kind of good? Good like a dog or like a wolf. Or like what? Like a chicken. Yeah, run around, making noise. Never offend anybody. But what is the good of that person if he cannot do anything else except not to offend anybody? You understand the different degree of goodness? Yeah? Not just telling everybody, oh, he's very good, he's a very quiet person, he's very brave, he's behaved very well and things like that. What is the use of that kind of person? You understand? However good he appeared to be, what good? He is the one who can be good, called good, when he serves mankind, when he makes other people enlightened, more intelligent, more capable, more self-reliant, more self-respect. Understand? That is the person I call good. Doesn't matter which means he used to enlighten, to enlighten, to lift up these persons who come to him. Understand? The person who is good is not the person who always looks so sweet and quiet and never raise the voice or never raise the eyebrows, never talk and never scold anybody. That is not the true meaning of good character. You understand what I mean? Good for nothing. That's what the English word say. He is good for nothing. Yeah, he is good. You cannot say he's a bad, lousy person, but he's good for nothing. Understand this kind of good for nothing person? Yes. So do not label yourself as good when you do nothing, benefit others. When you have no intelligence or use not your intelligence to make the world more lively, more beautiful, more loving, more livable. Do not dare call yourself a good person if you're good for nothing, like you're good like a dog. Yeah, always waving the tails and make, yeah, and but the dog is better even in that case. He makes other people happy. He shows his love, and he's always ready for his owner. Whenever the master calls him, he immediately jumps up, even in his sleep. He's always ready for his master. In that case, the dog is even better than the person who is good for nothing. Just idle away his life. And surely that person has to come back again. Since we have been in this world already, and we have owned much to this world, the food we eat, the clothes we wear, now of course everything comes from God. And God is the only person we should be grateful to. Nevertheless, God has used many instruments. And should these instruments become somehow damaged or out of order, we also have the obligation to repair, no? If not for ourselves own use, then for the next person who use it. Because through our use, it doesn't matter intentionally or unintentionally, these instruments are worn out. Yeah? Our neighbors, our fellow beings are these instruments. They are worn out spiritually, physically, through serving the whole. Whether they serve it with the right intention or with the wrong intention, they serve. And we are also one of those who receive benefit from these instruments. So when the instruments go wrong or in suffering condition, we have to repair. That's the only logic, very logical way. So no need to say everything comes from God and I need to worry about anything. I have no obligation. We do have. So when we help other people, like the poor or the refugees, we actually repay. We actually just do our duty. There's nothing to talk about, or no excuse not to do it. When the world is in trouble, we can help. That is just like we repair the useful tools in order to use again in the future or for the next person to use. So in the name of meditational practice, in the name of wisdom, of seeking Buddhahood, please do not mislabel enlightenment for idleness, for laziness, for excuse to run away from your own lousy character, to cover up your shortcomings, and to idle away your precious human time. Okay, I hope you have gained some understanding during these few days that you stay with me or with the center. I have tried intentionally or unintentionally to show you by examples more than by talk. I am not a very talkative person ordinarily, so sometimes I tell you things in a very short way, and if you do not understand, it's just troublesome for me. I have to keep repeating, and that's what I do not like most. I do not pretend to tell you that I like everything just like I don't like everything. Everything I like and nothing I dislike. I have dislikes and likes, but I endure both I like. There's no such things as a practitioner who reach a high level and for him everything is equal. No nonsense like that. How can it be equal? Huh? How can? If everything is equal, then you no need to even practice. Practice or non-practice is the same. Enlightenment and ignorance the same. Man and woman the same. Yeah? Eat vegetable or eat grass the same. Huh? Being a human or being a cow the same. Yeah, then you go out and plow the field. Understand? Yes. It's not true that everything is the same, but we endure everything. We tolerate everything with the same patience. That's all. So anyhow, that's why when I tell you something, try to understand quickly. And don't force me to repeat again and again or raise my voice. I do not like it. But sometimes some of you pretend not to hear it in order to have me repeat again without feeling pity for my health condition. Because I have to speak a lot to every different people every day, not only you. You are not the only one in the universe. And some of you never consider this fact. Just think I have all the time in the world for you alone. And you can talk nonsense and you can idle the time and you waste all my energy. And expect me to become a stone Buddha, not to raise my voice even. Yes, understand this illogical stupidity or not? I hope you do. If you do not, I really am very amazed as you are. I just, as a stupidity, yeah. Your cleverness, your cleverness, yes. Anyhow, it's not a complaint, just to state a fact for you so you can consider again and think about it next time when you want to talk nonsense, long-winded sentence, or pretend not to understand what I've told you. Before you help the world, please help me. Help me to take care of my body for you. Help me to do your work fast, to serve people in a short, efficient, and less, running around manner, wasting time and energy. So, I am the person for you to practice your charity. Yeah, charity begins at home. Yeah, if you call me your best friend, your master, and you protect me first, help me first, and do not put a lot of nonsense demand on my small physical frame. And this is for all of you, not only for the people here. Not that you cannot make demand on me when necessary, just to save the nonsense, save the wasting time, save the pretension and all that garbage. That's all, understand? Do things in a short, precise, efficient, necessary-wise manner. Don't like all nonsense, and I cannot tell it in English. Just trying to, I would say, pass time. Try to pass time. There are many other hobbies to pass time. Do not waste other people's energy in order to pass your time. If you have nothing else to do, go to meditate, go to sleep. Don't waste people's time and energy. That's also creating karma. Yeah. Even though I have not spoken to you personally today, but I have to speak personally to some other people. They take turn, you understand? Some business I have to do, some things I have to talk personally with some persons, different persons, at different times, all the time. I cannot always be around with you or talk to each of you individually. Therefore, even though this is the first time you saw me today talking to you, but I'm already exhausted. I cannot tell you how exhausted I am. I can only know how I feel. My voice, even now, is difficult to come out. I use all my might to talk. I might feel better in a while later, but not now, understand? I feel kind of pressure on the chest, and the voice comes out in such a very effortful manner. It's not for complaining, just to let you know the reality of things, the fact of my life, not the way you imagine. I don't live in glory. I don't live in luxury. I live for you, for other people, for the most needed persons. And these cost my energies and time and strength, even though being not very close to me, you might not be able to realize this. I don't say to you that you pity me or that you take it as a complaint, but so that you understand when I'm not around so much or when I excuse myself for some reason. Understand? Just right now, I don't even want to talk. I feel I could not even talk, but you do not feel it. Only me, I feel the pressure. But most of the time, I do not show. So, even then, when you yourself have pressure or have problems, please remember, I also have my share with you, and do not have much illusion about being a master, because I always laugh with you and have fun with you whenever I can. So do not have such an illusion about a life of a glorious mastership. It's not true at all. A master is truly a slave to every being. That is what a true master means. Nothing else. Okay? I wish you a good night and see you tomorrow. Because I still have more work to do. Not that because of my voice, but I still have more work to do.